Hey students, it's Mrs. Merrill. I'm here today to review the questions and answers for the poem, Twice I Walked with Dinosaurs. Notice that I have the poem open on our left-hand side and the comprehension check and questions open on the right-hand side. So let's get started with our questions. The title of this poem is Twice I Walked with Dinosaurs. I'm sure you all are wondering why the poet decided to title the poem Twice I Walked with Dinosaurs when she doesn't even discuss dinosaurs. However, keep in mind that she is discussing sharks and alligators and her wonderment and astonishment for them. Okay, so sharks and dinosaurs have been around for millions of years, and she feels like she's paying respect to those animals in a way that she can say that they have been here longer than her, and therefore she needs to respect them. I'm going to read the poem one more time to you, and then we'll jump into the questions and answers. Here's the poem. One summer we found a dead baby shark washed up on the beach, cut it open with a dinner knife from the house, and performed an outdoor autopsy. As we marveled at its miniature anatomy, reveled in the smallness of each little organ, seagulls circled overhead. The ocean was quiet, barely making waves. It kept vigil for its tiny casualty. The spring prior, an alligator wandered onto the beach during my uncle's second wedding. It was far enough away to merit an absence of fear, but nobody took photos or said a word. We just stared as it settled itself in the surf, hoping to be cleansed. Okay, let's take a look at our questions now. If you decided to watch the video recording of me read aloud the poem and comment on it, you should have had a good idea of how to answer these questions. Okay, let's look at question 1 part A and question 2 part B because they connect to each other. So think about the speaker and how she or he reacts to the shark and the alligator. And I want you to think about that as I read you question 1. Question 1 asks, which statement expresses the main theme of the poem? Well, before you even answer that question or look at the answer choices, let's think. We see that we have a highlighted line over here as we marveled. So we know that the word marveled is a good thing. It's kind of like you're looking at something in awe and astonishment. You're very interested in it. And then line 10, it says reveled in the smallness of each little organ. It's kind of like you have this enjoyment and curiosity over something. So it sounds like the speaker has a really positive outlook and respectful tone towards nature. Remember, sharks, alligators, living things are part of nature. Okay? So, again, which statement expresses the main theme of the poem? The answer choice should be C. Studying Earth's creatures can inspire a sense of wonder. This right here, sense of wonder, definitely hints to you that this should be the correct answer choice. Okay? We know that throughout the entire poem, the speaker is marveling and reveling at these creatures and nature and is in astonishment over them. So C would be our best choice. A, examining ancient creatures can help us better understand the past. Well, even though that might be true, it is not true for the speaker and the purpose of this poem. B, it's important to never let your curiosity about the world fade. Again, that we can consider to be true. However, we know that the speaker is really not talking about being curious about the world in general. It's kind of like the speaker is pinpointing nature and earth by discussing the shark specifically and the alligator specifically. And then choice D just doesn't sound right. Humans often hurt creatures in their quest to better understand them. Well, we know for a fact that the speaker is not hurting the shark. It has already passed. So she's not hurting it, but she is astonished over it and wants to know more about it. And that's why they decide to perform that outdoor autopsy. And in the last couple stanzas, the alligator wandering up onto the beach far away from her uncle's wedding, they don't hurt it. They just sit there and they stare at it, kind of like in wonderment again of this alligator and huge creature. So C is our best answer choice. Okay, question 2, part B. Now part B goes along with and connects to part A. Which two details from the text best support the answer to part A? So we need two details that best support the answer to part A. So we need two details that tell us that the speaker has some sense of wonder. Okay. A, one summer we found a dead baby shark. Well, that doesn't really tell us anything about wondering. They found a baby shark, okay? Choice B, and performed an outdoor autopsy. Well, this might be something we can consider because we are wondering about something. C, as we marveled at its miniature anatomy. I think this would be one of our best choices because it's using the word marveled. Okay, so remember, if we go back over to our poem and scroll down, we have our footnotes, and marvel means to be filled with wonder. So this definitely connects to the answer in part A. Then we have choice D, barely making waves. It kept its vigil for a tiny casualty. E, an alligator wandered onto the beach during my uncle's second wedding. And F, nobody took photos or said a word, we just stared. So the next best answer choice is choice F. This is showing that the family is just staring at the alligator again in wonderment. They're marveling at this huge creature. So C and F are your best answer choices, and they both support the answer to part A. They both are telling us that studying Earth's creatures can inspire a sense of wonder because in choice C for part B, we are marveling at something, and then choice F, we're just staring at it. We want to know more about it, so we are staring and taking in what's around us. Okay, question 3. How does observing the shark and the alligator affect the speaker? Well, we can tell over in our poem that observing the shark, the speaker and her family are marveling over its miniature anatomy and reveling in the smallness of each little organ. Again, if we scroll down to our footnotes, marvel means to be filled with wonder or astonishment, and revel is to enjoy oneself in a lively and noisy way. So this has a very positive effect towards the speaker. We can say that the speaker is positive and just wants to know more. Again, when it comes to the alligator, it was far enough away to merit an absence of fear, meaning they weren't scared of it, but they wanted to know more, so they just stared. They didn't do anything, they just stared at it, so they can figure out and try and find out more. So the best answer choice for question 3 would be A. It causes her to develop a sense of admiration for the creatures. The more she knows about the creatures, the more she begins to admire them. So when she does observe the shark and the alligator, she becomes even more interested and wondering what else they can be like. Okay, so our best answer choice for question 3 is choice A. It wouldn't be choice B because it says it prompts the speaker to fear these creatures. Well, we know that she's not scared of them because she's trying to find out more about the shark. And she said in lines 20 and 21, it was far enough away to merit an absence of fear, meaning they didn't have fear. They were fearless almost of the animal because it was far enough away. Choice C, it makes the speaker want to protect these species from humans. Well, we know we do want to protect these species. However, the speaker does not mention that in any of the lines of this poem. And choice D, it inspires the speaker to learn more about animals and their anatomies. I understand why you might want to choose this one as your answer. However, she is becoming more careful around these animals. She's admiring them more. She's reveling and marveling over them. So she's showing her sense of admiration for the creatures because of how interesting and exciting she is around them. So A would be our best answer choice. Let's look at question 4. What does the speaker's description of the ocean, Reveal about her point of view toward the natural world. Well, if we see that in lines 13, 14, and 15, she says the ocean was quiet, barely making waves. It kept vigil for its tiny casualty. Now, when we have a vigil for someone or hold a vigil for someone or something, it's like we're honoring or respecting them. The ocean was quiet. It was barely making waves. So it was very calm and tranquil. If the ocean was loud and dangerous, maybe waves were crashing and it was very loud. However, she describes the ocean as quiet and barely making waves. Therefore, we can assume that the ocean was very tranquil and calm. So our best answer choice is D for question 4. The speaker views the ocean as caring about the living things that come from it. So she says that the ocean kept vigil for the tiny creature. Again, if we have a vigil for someone, it means that we're honoring them. So in this case, she's saying that the ocean is honoring or caring for its tiny casualty in that the shark, the baby shark, has died. Okay, so that would be the best answer choice for question 4. Let's look at question 5. This was a written response. Notice that I have my written response already here, okay? So how do the words used to describe the speaker's examination and reaction to the shark contribute to the tone of the passage? Remember, the tone is the author's attitude towards the subject matter. We can definitely say that the author has a very positive tone towards the subject matter, one of admiration and care. So I also gave you a little hint. Think of the words being used and what emotions are connected to them. What do the words marveled and reveled mean? How do these words connect to the author's tone? Okay, so like I've been saying in this video and my previous video when I read the poem aloud to you, I kept on mentioning that the speaker has a tone of wonder and awe. She's just really interested in the natural world. She is admiring the natural world as well. So here's my reading. Yours should have sounded similar. It says, the speaker has an interest in the shark's anatomy, and her response to examining the shark conveys a tone or shows a tone of wonder and awe. For example, when the shark washes up on the beach, the speaker is driven by curiosity to perform an outdoor autopsy. When the speaker further examines the shark, she states that she's marveled at its miniature anatomy. Remember, marveled means that you're in wonder over something. Additionally, she reveled in the smallness of each little organ, kind of like celebrated each little organ. She couldn't get over how interesting and unique they were. The words marvel and revel convey the speaker's excitement at her discoveries and her fascination with the shark. Overall, the words used to describe the speaker's examination of the shark contributes to the poem's tone of wonder. There's that word again, wonder, as the speaker is overall moved by her observations of the earth's creatures. So again, overall, the speaker is moved by her observations of the earth's creatures. Okay? So if you need further explanation on each of these questions, please feel free to reach out to your teachers. Notice that the poem is embedded right into your Google form as well. Let's go ahead and submit this. Oh, I did not put my name. Okay, and my period. Let's do that. I think I'm good now. Let's go ahead and submit. Obviously, I won't get a score right away for my written response. So right now I do have an 80 out of 100, but that is because my written response is not graded. So I'm just going to show you that part 1 and part 2 for question 1 and 2. We have the correct answers here like we chose. And question 3 and question 4, we have the same as well. And just remember that your teacher has to go and put the actual score for question 5. So you may not see your initial grade at first, okay? But I promise you that this is the answer, or this is an answer that we are looking for, something very similar to it, okay? If you have any questions, please reach out to your language arts teachers. Thank you.